Welcome for this video lecture. In this lecture, particularly we'll focus on Six Sigma philosophy. So, what is Six Sigma? So, there is always variation in any product, any process, and these are variation. There are different parameters. Due to that, there are variation. It may be due to human operator error, which is working on machine, or there are error itself in a machine. So, each and every product cannot be alike, same. So, there are errors. There is variation. These are inevitable that we cannot avoid. So Six Sigma is a particular scientific technology that help to reduce this variation. So we can reduce this variation in a systematic way, and it is very prominent tool to manage this variation within a limit. So there are basic scientific approach called as a DMAIC approach. At the end of this slide, we'll see that what is DMAIC approach. So using that scientific method, so we can reduce the variation and we can keep our product or process within a acceptable range. So we learn here that purpose of Six Sigma is to reduce the variation. So coming to this slide, so it is a systematic approach. As already told, it is a scientific approach. Means suppose this is the process, and particular process is run in between lower limit and upper limit. So we are specifying this boundary, and our process should be within this boundary. So if we process goes out of this boundary, means below upper limit or below lower limit or above upper limit, then this process become out of control. So we have to maintain this process controlled within this upper limit and lower limit. So for such, Six Sigma is a method to reduce or to keep the process in this lower and upper limit. So it is basically related to design, manufacture, administration function. So basically this Six Sigma involves different statistical tools, right, and techniques to improve the process. Means obviously we have to measure the variation from large quantity, from large data of each and every job. So for that we need certain statistical tools, so that helps to measure the different variation in the product, and we have to analyze this variation, we have to work on this variation so that next time that will be eliminated. At last, Six Sigma is about the reduction and elimination of the defects. So we have to produce the product which are defect free, and each and every time we have to reduce the defect in the product. So that's all about the Six Sigma process. Six Sigma can be applied to the various functions of the organization or various product categories. So first it may be applied in a design application, means when product is made, before that there is a huge process of design and development. So at this philosophy of design and development we can implement this Six Sigma technique. Or in a manufacturing, so which is set normal process, in that also you can operate this Six Sigma, where object is to improve or the to make continuous improvement in the process. Or we can apply it in a administrative or a service application, like suppose in a HRD department, so you have to evaluate the performance of the employee, right, performance of the operator for the different levels. So in this also we can implement this Six Sigma techniques. So Six Sigma is a quality improvement program where we have to reduce this number of defects and to the level such that 3.4 parts per million. Means if we produce 1 million part, what is mean by 1 million? So it is 10 lakh. So on a particular machine, if we produce 10 lakh product, so out of that 3.4 parts are allowed to fail only. Means if we are able to reduce our defect up to 3.4 parts in a 10 lakh samples, then we can say that our process is Six Sigma qualified. Remember, this much low defects if we are able to produce by using our process, then and then only we can say that we are Six Sigma. Means it is very stringent quality specification. If the particular organization is Six Sigma, then it is very much honored, like a Motorola, Toyota. So these are the Six Sigma companies, and these are the honor because their process, their way of operation on the manufacturing front is very effective. That's why they are Six Sigma. So here we can only accommodate the non-conformity of the product up to 3.4 out of the 10 lakh product. So Six Sigma process is this notation is here is sigma, and basically sigma meaning of this sigma notation is to measure the variation. In a statistic, this term is prepared to measure the variation, and also it is called as a standard deviation. So we have to use here notation as a sigma. So we'll see some features of this Six Sigma. So Six Sigma is quality level closest to zero defect, means in a 10 lakh samples we are allowed to fail only 3.4 parts, means almost up to zero value. So here we can say that process is zero defect, we are closer to the zero defect. Also in a Six Sigma, purpose is total customer satisfaction, right? So what we company offers their product or services, through that total customer satisfaction we have to achieve. That is the purpose of Six Sigma. So obviously if we reduce the defects, then obviously they can reduce the cost of the defect, means actually rejection, rework, or any defect in the component is extra cost to the company. And before occurring these errors, defects, rework, rejection of the component, if we are able to reduce that there itself, or cannot happen, we can prevent it, so we can save company cost, and in that way it is the reduction in a cost. And if we reduce the cost, it result in higher yield. What is mean by yield? So here yield means what we give the input to the organization and what company get output from the input. So higher yield means more output from the given, so it is related to efficiency. And over that overall we can get here improved reliability in our system. If the process is Six Sigma, then we can say that there are less variation or a least variation, and process is a zero defect, close to the zero defect. So by using these two aspects, that is less variation and process is close to zero defect, so we can set reliability of our product inside on the market, and our product in that way reliable to the customer. So here chart is shown here. So this scale indicate different levels of sigma, right from first sigma to Six Sigma. So if the process is Six Sigma, we'll see this table in a sigma level: defect rate in parts per million, corresponding yield, and cost of saving, right? So Six Sigma allows 3.4 defects in a sample of 10 lakh. Here parts per million is given, 1 million means 10 lakh. So within 10 lakh component, 3 point parts are allowed to fail, that is Six Sigma. So here yield we can see here 99.99966. And if we achieve the process Six Sigma, then cost of poor quality is less than 10%. So what is the cost of poor quality? If our product fails in the service, so that is burden of the cost to the organization. So this is in the form of rejection, rework, right? So this is nothing but cost of quality. And if the process is Six Sigma, then our cost of poor quality remains less than 10, and it is treated as world class level for the organization. If the Six Sigma level is 5 Sigma, now we'll see diminishing level of the sigma. If it is 5 Sigma, then defect rate is 233. Remember, we are changing only 1 Sigma from 6 Sigma to 5 Sigma, but defect rate goes from 3.4 parts to the 233 parts, right? And here yield is 99.9767. And if we go with the 5 Sigma process, then our cost of poor quality is little bit increasing, means it is in a range of 10 to 15% instead of less than 10%. So till this product is called as a world class, or this process is called as a world class level. Now if we go for next level, that is 4 Sigma, here defect rate now becomes very steep, very high, and it is 6210, and defect yield is 99.3790. So if we observe here, so as the sigma level goes on decreasing, so defect rates are allowed, means process does not become that much standard. So process is moving slightly away from standards. Variations goes on increasing, so that's why we are permitting this high much very much high defects. So here cost is 15 to 20% cost of poor quality. If we go for 3 Sigma, then there is a huge increase in a defect, 66,000, more than close to 67,000 we can observe here, right? So this is the defect rate, and also yield reduces 93 point something percentage, and again cost of poor quality goes to 20 to 30%. If we go further to sigma, then here defects are goes to the very much high level, that is 3,08,537, and yield becomes 69 point something, and cost of poor quality is 30 to 40%. So this is the non-competitive organization. Or if you take example of 1 sigma, here defects are very much high, that will be 6,90,000. Means what? So if we produce 10 lakh components, out of that 6,90,000 means close to 7 lakh we can say the products will be defective, and in such cases cost of poor quality will be 74%, and this organization is called as a non-competitive. So this is the worst scenario of the worst sigma. So if we, in a summary, if we see, as the levels of the sigma goes on decreasing, so quality becomes deteriorating, quality goes on diminishing, and products become more and more variation, there is more wastage, there is more rejection, and this parts per million rate of defect goes on increasing, right? And as rate of defect goes on increasing, so cost of poor quality goes on increasing, and our organization moves from world class to the non-competitive. So that will be the lowest level for the organization. So here process of the Six Sigma is shown here, and it is typical approach, scientific approach is called as a DMAIC. So DMAIC consists of define, measure, analysis, improve, and control. So this is the strategy of DMAIC, and that is implemented to achieve the Six Sigma levels in the organization. So DMAIC is process of the improvement is shown here. So first we have to define the product, right? So we have to define the product, we have to define process, so which we have to go for the Six Sigma. Suppose reduction in variation in the tolerance. Suppose company produces shaft, we'll take the simple example, company produces shaft of a diameter 30 and tolerance is given as plus minus 0.5. We'll take the example of particular manufacturing machine. So this machine produces shaft of diameter 30 and tolerance is given here plus minus 0.5. Means we have to make the product of 30.5 mm to 29.5 mm. So 29.5 is a lower limit and 30.5 is the upper limit. So all our process, what we component produce using that machines should lies within this range, and if the any product, if any component goes out of this either below lower limit or above upper limit, then that will be rejection. So that is counted as a defected part. So we have to first set the process which we have to make go for the Six Sigma. So first is selecting the process or a project. Here it is called as a project. We have to select the project. So then in define itself, in a define phase itself, we have to form the team. Yes, we have to form the team, and team is cross-functional team, means persons from the various department. Suppose we are making Six Sigma in assembly, so person from maintenance department, person from assembly itself, person from manufacturing department, because uh, manufacturing is the customer, sorry, assembly is the customer of manufacturing department. So what manufacturing produces, that goes to the assembly. So persons of the manufacturing department comes here in the team, Six Sigma team. So that teams also we have to define here. So purpose of first define phase is select the particular project or a process and form the corresponding team. So that is the purpose of define. Later on measure. So here we have to set the output parameter that we have to measure. Means I have already told shaft tolerance, right? So tolerance is max, upper limit is 30.5 mm and lower limit is 29.5 mm. So this tolerance output parameter we have to set. So this is called as a measure. So we are setting here different parameters. Later is analysis. So what is analysis? So analysis means to achieve this tolerance level. So what are defects coming on? Means what? So there is output, and what are different inputs that are affecting on output. So this we have to study. Their interrelations we have to study, right? So this is become part of analysis. Next, improve. So once analysis is done, particular levels of the parameters are set, then we have to improve the process step by step, because DMAIC is a continuous improvement process, right? So we always go for the improvement. And last is control. So control means what? So once plan is set, so we should avoid deviations, right? So that may be due to operator or that may be due to machine. So that phase become control. So this is the DMAIC approach: define, measure, analyze, improve and control to implement the Six Sigma process. So here fact is shown of the Motorola company, which is a pioneer for Six Sigma. So in a first year, so Motorola has invested $25 million, very huge amount, for the only training from top management to uh, down management, means for from the CEO of the company to the operator at the bottom level of the company. So for that training is needed, because if the operator or the top management does not aware about the Six Sigma, then it is very much difficult to go for this process. So training is very important part, and for that this Motorola has invested $25 million, right? So in 1992, so 1 lakh out of 70,000 has participated in Six Sigma course of this company, and in the same year company achieved 80% reduction due to this, and it is worth around $4 billion saving. Remember, this cost is very high. So company, by implementing this Six Sigma philosophy in 1992, able to reduce the defect to the level 80%, means very huge reduction in the defects can be achieved by this Six Sigma by this company. And saving, because as we have already seen, wastage of the material, rejection of the material, any rework in the material is the cost to company, and if you reduce such cost, then obviously there is a saving, and this saving is about $4 billion, very huge amount, right? So for the any company, we can implement this Six Sigma, and we can reduce the defects, reduce the variation in the process in the product, and if you reduce the variation, so we can get saving, we can save the amount involved to make this rework rejection, and we go for the highest qualified system. So there are different international standards certification for this Six Sigma. So it is particularly famously called as a black belt, right? Green belt, yellow belt. So these are the different levels depend upon person's knowledge about the Six Sigma methodology, right? So these are the different certifications are provided. Thank you.